One of the problems that people have had with the Rings of Power series is that so many of the characters that are being advertised have nothing to do with Tolkien, have nothing to do with Lord of the Rings, the Silmarillion, the First and Second Age, nothing. These characters are invented for this series. In many cases, it's for purposes of diversity and identity politics. That much has even been admitted by the people that are running this series. But even for people that we recognize, even for characters that we know and that we care about, and that so many Tolkien fans around the world know everything about, these characters look, act, feel nothing like the characters that they're supposed to be portraying. That's why so many people are upset. And one of those characters is absolutely Galadriel, a character who's so beloved, but for the Rings of Power series, Amazon has turned her into some sort of warrior princess, something that she absolutely never was, but it's something that they're pushing. Now, it looks like in a new interview, the person playing Galadriel, Morfydd Clark, the same one who attacked fans for daring to criticize any of her castmates that are black, because heaven forbid, you can't do that. Even if your criticism is valid, has nothing to do with racism, you're not allowed to criticize her black castmates. She wants you off the internet and not to follow her anymore. Well, now even she is saying, when she found out how Galadriel was being depicted in this, she was surprised because she didn't think that this is how Galadriel was. Isn't that interesting? Lord of the Rings of Power's depiction of Galadriel surprised star Morfydd Clark. Morfydd Clark takes the lead in Prime Video's Lord of the Rings of Power as Galadriel, a character that should be familiar to Lord of the Rings fans. However, fans may be surprised by this younger Galadriel compared to her older self seen in Tolkien's original Middle-earth saga. Yeah, they are going to be surprised because this is not that character. This is a fan fiction made up bullshit from Amazon that should be obvious to everyone. Galadriel in Rings of Power has an edge to her and skirts close to darkness in a way that seems opposite of the calm and graceful Lady of Lorien from Lord of the Rings. Well, calm and graceful except when tempted by the ring. Speaking to comicbook.com, Clark says even she was surprised by the series' take on Galadriel. It definitely surprised me because I thought I was a fan. I'd read The Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, seen the films, but I had no idea about the First and Second Age. That was really kind of exciting to learn all this extra stuff about the world that I loved. It's really interesting that she's so conflicted and going through so much, because I feel the people in my life who had the most kind of chill and serene as Galadriel have usually been through a lot. It was interesting to work with opposites, you know. How far can she go to what we know she will become? How far can we push this? How far can we reasonably make this shit up that she's able to become that person at the end? That's what this is. This is all bullshit. So you had no idea about these other stories. You got fed this line of bullshit from the writers, from the people that decided they were going to take this way. And just like so many other of these characters that are like, wow, I really see, like, what I see in my life really reflects what I see in this story. Same thing, apparently, with Galadriel. And my main problem with this entire thing, with this entire interview with her, is, once again, she's admitting that even she didn't think that this was right. She didn't think it felt right. She hadn't read all this other stuff. Guess what? None of that stuff, none of the other stuff that the First and Second Age that Tolkien tells us about, none of that justifies what they're about to do with her character. None of it justifies her going to Numenor. None of it justifies the way she's being portrayed as some sort of fucking warrior princess. None of it justifies any of that. None of it justifies her falling in love. It looks like she's going to be flirting with Sauron. That's what it looks like is going to happen in this series, in Rings of Power. None of that can be justified by what Tolkien wrote. It's all made up. It's all from these fucking showrunners, from the writers, from the executive producers who want it to reflect the world that we're currently living in. They don't care about Tolkien. They just want to tell the story that they want to tell, regardless of what's in front of them. Even the actor who plays the character of Galadriel didn't think it felt right.
Thanks for watching, everyone. And a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.